Hi everybody, welcome back to the airfield on the southern side of the Sakhal main island, and back by popular demand is my admin base that I made a few years ago for Chernerus and Livonia, and I think I called them Pioneer bases as well at some point. So what I've done is I've created an object spawner file that you can use on your Sakhal community server for console or PC, and when you turn it on it will spawn in this rather handy base, that truck with truck bits, and on the beach over there in the distance there's a couple of rubber boats, and it's packed full of resources. So I've added some Sakhal stuff like this briefcase and the keys and the gelatin tablets and the filter bottles, but you've got different weapons, you've got different gear, you've got medicine, we've got NBC gear, we've got fireworks, we've got nails, and out here we've got camo, generators, fuel, rocks, metal sheeting, barrels, loads and loads of wooden logs. Around here there's loads, and there's some the lumber pile as well. Now the idea with this is not that you spawn this in and you leave it here all the time. Okay, the idea is that you, as an admin on a server, you spawn it in, and this is really console, because obviously if you're on PC you can use admin tools to spawn this stuff anyway, but on console we can't spawn things in as easy as that. But the idea is you get yourself to the airfield, you would spawn it in, you would put the truck together, or gather the resources you wanted to, or people could come here, gather the resources they wanted to, and then you would turn it off. You wouldn't leave it on all the time because it could severely affect the loot economy of your particular server, and you don't want that. Plus it's all open, somebody just come and take stuff, couldn't they? Unless that's what you want. And every restart, obviously the stuff will be refreshed, because this isn't using a central economy to spawn stuff in, it's just using an object spawner, which isn't the best way of doing things, but it's one of the ways that we can do it on console. You really meant to use it for things like buildings, not loot. Now remember, the truck, unless you do some extra things in the code, and all this stuff, and the boats actually, and all this stuff is detailed in the readme file at my GitHub or my Mega, it will simply despawn on startup, or if you leave it to its own devices, because it's not associated with an event, and vehicles must be either associated with an event or have a really long lifetime to hang around, otherwise they just despawn. So that's one of the problems. And obviously the problem with an object spawner file is that you can't spawn stuff in complete, you've got to kind of spawn in all the bits, but I think I've included them that way. So it's very useful for certain things, especially if you kind of run your server solo, because you could have this on all the time, can't you? But anyway, so in the description below this video you will find the links to my Mega and my GitHub. I do both so that each is a backup for the other. I've also included, actually, which I almost forgot to mention, the .dze file. So that's the DayZ editor file for these, so you can play around with it if you like, re-export it as a new JSON if you want to. And in the readme files on Mega and on GitHub there's the full step-by-step instructions on how you install this on your server if you're not familiar with using object spawner JSON files. So there we go, a nice admin resource base for your probably console community server, and I hope you find it useful. Anyway, if you do, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and of course I will see you all again soon.